Hello, and welcome to the Rouge unit of the week. And today we are taking a look at the Scud launch, the M752 LANCE for the Netherlands. So the code rule was all about missiles. Missiles were a brand new technology that emerged from World War II, which would prove to be quite useful in modern day armies, because missiles, from big to small, can be used in a huge varieties of roles, from shooting down planes, blowing up tanks, and blowing up entire cities. So, America and USSR were having an arms race, seeing who could produce the most missiles. One of these types of missiles, a tactical ballistic missile, which is a smaller, more shorter range missile used to hit targets close by and to also be easily transportable. Now, one of these missiles that the Americans produced was the M752 LANCE, which was developed in the early 70s to replace her earlier missiles like the Honest Johnson and Sergeant SRBM. And simply put, the Lance had a range of roughly 70 to 120 kilometers, and it could either have a nuclear warhead, or in wargame it has just a crap ton of high explosives. Now, the Americans and all their NATO allies, ended up exporting a lot of these missiles to their friends, like Britain, Germany, so on and so forth. One of these guys being the Netherlands. They received these in the late 70s, 1979, and pretty much only used in their 129th Artillery Battalion, and the code will never get hot, so they never actually saw any action and ended up being disarmed and moved back to America in '92 due to a disarmament treaty that the United States signed with Russia. In game, the M752 LANCE is a 120-point Netherlands tactical missile artillery thing, and it only has literally one thing available to it. And that one thing being M52 tactical missile, with only literally one missile available to the vehicle, with a range of ground of 49 kilometers, a dispersion of 2,275 meters, HE power of 20, and 0 rate of fire because there's nothing to reload. Overall, it's a big explosion. 20 HE power is nothing really to scoff at. That's roughly half the power you get off dropping a Harrier GR7 load, which would be 40. It's not technically 40 because of how damage is calculated in wargame, but nonetheless, it's a big bloody explosion that covers a rather big area and will pretty much kill anything that's not a heavy tank, including helicopters. If we take a look at its miscellaneous stats, it has 1 frontal armor and then nothing on the side, back and top, 10 HP, a big size, poor optics, a speed of a very slow 45 kilometers an hour. On road it does go 110, poor stealth, an autonomy of 500 kilometers, which isn't exactly useful. It can be brought up in marine and support decks, and it is year restricted to 1979. In battle, the Lance it's a weird unit. It's a brand new thing in wargame. There's no other tactical missile launchers available to any other nation, which is quite funny because the Netherlands, being one of the more pacifist nations in Europe, have one of the craziest, deadliest weapons available in wargame. Now, simply put, the Lance, it only has one missile, it's very slow, and it is very weak. But that one missile, when fired in the right spot, can do an awful lot of damage. I like to think of it as the Lance being a 1,000 to 2,000 pound bomber, yet you won't have to risk flying over enemy AA pieces, getting shot down by interceptors. It's a rather safe option, and it will use up quite a lot of your FOB supplies because it is a big missile, especially if you keep constantly firing and firing it. But when you do land on top of enemy targets, it makes sectors disappear. It's great for sniping CVs. This thing is crazy good at sniping CVs because you can just kind of hit in the general direction, and if it's an infantry or jeep CV, they're gonna die because it is a big explosion. Now, this isn't a replacement for your Harrier GR7s. It won't be killing those T-80Us and T-90 tanks. It do a bit of damage, but not enough to kill it. But against medium tanks, entrenched infantry, killing enemy artillery pieces like Smirches and other annoying stuff, this is a great unit. In a 1v1, I wouldn't say it's a good choice to bring up, because 120 points in a 1v1 could be a heavy tank, which would be a lot more useful. But in team games where you can kind of lay off the front lines a bit and have your teammates cover you, having a few batteries of launches can do an awful lot of damage, and it can really annoy your opponent. If you are going up against launches, do your best to try and counter battery them. They don't have a fast movement range, so a smirch shot in the general vicinity should definitely kill them, and they are very weak. But overall, it's a tactical missile. It's not exactly a nuke, and it's not as big as a B5 bomb, but if you want something dead, something below a heavy tank it is, and you want to do it from a safe distance, this is a really good choice. And honestly, this is one of the main reasons to get the Netherlands DLC, because this is such a different unit and it's a lot of fun to use. May not be the best meta rise, but damn, it's the closest thing you got to calling a nuke in StarCraft 2. And, well, you can't really go wrong with that. And I'm leaving it at that. This has been another Rang Rouge unit of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and take it easy.